Good morning, everyone. Namaste. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael to cleanse the space, to clear out all negative and lower vibrations from our mind, body, and soul, home and hearts, placing the white light of protection around us with his blue seal. And today, guys, we are going to be reading more on setting boundaries to find peace with narcissistic and codependents. So helpful, especially if you're an empath and you draw narcissists to you. Somebody that is highly sensitive and feels other people's pains and emotions are generally people that are going to draw narcissists to them so that they can kind of take advantage of you. They're going to take on your light. They're going to love bomb you at first to get you. They're going to make you feel that they only know how you feel. They're going to understand your deep, darkest secrets because they too, just like an empath, have had a very difficult life. So they use that information, that the trauma they've been through, to get you, to kind of reel you in and kind of make it to where they feel like they truly understand, probably more than you've been heard ever in your life, which is why you're drawn to that person. And then they use that against you to keep you, and then they keep you down, and they keep themselves at a higher vibration, telling you everything is your fault, and then they start to isolate you from your friends and family. So let's get into this. So it states, codependents or obsessive says, we all agree that humans need other humans and that no man is on an island. In fact, some levels of vulnerability and dependence is encouraged when done in a healthy manner. On the other hand, codependencies come into the picture when there is unhealthy reliance on someone else. This behavior is born of low self-esteem. So generally, these people are going to be like people pleasers, people that have experienced trauma throughout their life because they have a high sensitivity and feel people's emotions, so they people please, so that and it usually stemmed in your childhood home, and they do this because they don't want to feel the sadness and the rage of other people, so they people please to keep them like that. And narcissists always know how to target those people pleasers. That's who they go after. So it states, this behavior is born of low self-esteem, where a person who suffers from it comes to rely on an external source of validation. This step goes further than being a people person or being madly in love. A codependent individual is hard time delineating their identity from another person. They don't know how to think for themselves or even what to feel about themselves, other people, or other situations. This comes from as a result of being in a dysfunctional environment with a lot of neglect and ignorance at play. So more than likely, your parents were both trauma victims themselves. They didn't know how to cope and deal with their problems, so you kind of just went under the radar. They had you to kind of fill that void, and that void wasn't filled when they had you. So they quickly realized that, and you had to pretty much raise yourself, if not parent them. Says, this lack of strong sense of identity and absence of self-love may translate into feeling of anxiety for the codependent individual, which makes them fixation on their relationship to distract themselves from the internal chaos that they experience and outer chaos that they experience. The answer to the question above is that codependency and obsession often go hand in hand. Am I codependent? The main theme of codependencies is that a codependent individual puts other people's needs above their own. Now, essentially, to find out if you're a true romantic or if you're actually codependent, here are a few signs. It says, you find it difficult to make decisions in your relationships. You don't trust yourself and you have low self-esteem. You're afraid of being abandoned. You don't pay any attention to your own needs or desires. You're always apologizing or taking the blame to avoid drama. You are excessively worried about other people's behaviors. You feel guilty whenever you do something for yourself or alone. You always prefer to avoid conflict. You find yourself craving approval from other people. Your mood reflects other people's moods, not your own emotions. You try to control other people's lives or make decisions for them. You entertain fantasies about another person and the state of the relationship with them, even if you're not fulfilled in the relationship. When you find that your desires for your partner or loved one's well-being to cross boundaries into unhealthy zones, then you need to step back and take a good look at what's happening. Some of those, as somebody who's codependent, or obviously was a codependent my whole life, really hit home. I attracted narcissists my whole life as well. So really hit home when it states a lot of these things. So if you feel like you also as well, it really hits home with, then you have some work to do. And if you haven't sought out counseling, I would recommend counseling, but I would also recommend surrendering it to God and asking Him to step in and guide you on where you need to go, because you need to learn self-worth. And that is not going to be an easy feat, because the reason why you let go of your self-worth is because you couldn't handle the chaos coming around everyone else, because you felt it so internally. So it will take time. I'm still working on it. I've been working on it for about 5 years now, if not longer, but you do get better at it, and there is hope for it. So I love you all. I hope this helps, and namaste.